stems from a mysterious stone tablet that was found on San Miguel in the spring of 1901. A lone archaeologist was wandering that wind that windswept isle one day when he kicked what he thought was a stone metate and noticed some scribbling on one side. Those scribblings or etchings sort of appeared to form the letters JRC, leading some to believe that this piece of rock may have been Cabrillo's headstone. Many historians and archaeologists, however, have called into question the authenticity of the tablet, especially since the phrase, "follow me on Twitter," appears beneath the letters. Various expeditions to find Cabrillo's grave have been launched over the past 150 years to not only San Miguel and Catalina Islands, but just to be on the safe side, to Santa Cruz Island and Santa Rosa Island as well. But alas, not a shred of evidence one way or the other has ever been found. Okay, so literally, with all the mysteries that go on Catalina, there's so much UFO activity around there, and there's literally a green door that appears, and that literally there's all these different sightings of this, like they call it the green door, like this portal that opens up. And there's so much activity and so much ancient lores. There were giants that were found on the island. And so for me, I'm quoting this archivo that consists of over 70,000 pages of ship logs, okay?
Yeah, you're quoting original sources. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And so that is what I'm saying. So for him to go and demand publicly that I'm wrong, and then for me to point out, okay, for me to show where I'm getting my information from, you would think he would dive, if he's all about accuracy, dive into that information and then make your conclusion or make a presentation on it. But you do not publicly come at me and say that I'm wrong, and to do that when you're not, and then give me Wikipedia pages to support what you're saying when this is literally like it predates that.
It's like, I don't know who you're talking about, but whoever it is, they need to take it up with the people that wrote this book from the 1500s, not you. If it's just it sounds retarded.
It's just it's disappointing because this is kind of like you're arguing to perpetuate that, and so you're perpetuating the lie. That's like, that's like busting out an encyclopedia or one of these school books that how much, if you've been doing this is what's alarming. If you've been doing research and you're a hardcore researcher and you're all about accuracy, then you have come across many false misinformation, of information that has been written and taught that turned out to be false. So for you, for that not to come across, for you not to be aware of that, but now you're getting to a point where he's refusing to even look into this stuff. This is a huge clue that could help him. And so I look at it as like, look, what was my other post? So I had told him, look, Julia, stop it right now. You are wrong.
That's confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance simultaneously. It's like, just because there's conflicting evidence of the thesis that you're supporting and researching doesn't mean you're allowed to attack someone who has put this research up. There's information that is there, that exists. You can't take it or leave it. It exists.
Or it's like that's like me, I talked to go talk to an elder. It's one thing if you're coming at me like, oh, this is an elder of Schumann, they said this is what, but you know what I'm saying? Like, or go have this be part of your presentation and unfold it. But a wise thing, the way we're going to get out of this mess with what all the things we don't know and we've forgotten, and is by everybody has a piece of the clue. Like, everybody has information. I'm not going to know everything. And, there's clues I have, there's going to be clues you have, and like working together collectively. So like he's like, Julia, stop it right now. You were wrong. You got to get it corrected. Get over it. He quotes the National Park Service, which is like, really? The National Park Service? Are you kidding me? But he can believe that.
Never lies.
So what I wrote, I've put, look, I want subscribers that get to the root, the truth, ones that can look past the lies and see beyond that. We have been fed so many lies. There is so much misinformation out. I want people that can use their mind, their heart, and intuition to filter through it. I was giving you a chance to correct yourself because no matter what you believe, I posted my source to why I said that. So you should remove any statement saying it was incorrect. Instead, your ego got involved because he wants to be right. He wants the national park to be right. He wants Wikipedia to be right because that's his conclusion. And you began saying your belief, your position, and you started quoting Wikipedia and the government narrative. Just know that I gave you an opportunity to do the right thing, and I'm going to ban you. Because like that was another thing too. Here it's on Walter Bosley's channel, but it was it was a subscriber of mine. So like anybody, you know what I mean? Like I don't need anybody following me or watching me and getting my insights and getting my information and tapped into my energy. That's not going to do the work, or that's not, or it's going to take some of it.
Attack you every time you put out information that they don't like.
Exactly. Because I want to solve some, I'd like to solve some things. And, I'd like to work together. That's why, I came on here and I'm saying the whole thing about the totality spot, that Shawnee National Forest and Giant City Park, and that because there's going to be information that you guys come across that I don't know or have. But this type of
intrigued with this second city of the gods you found in Illinois.
Yeah. And I didn't look up how far away it is from those mounds either. What's it called? Like Cahokia mounds. But this is beautiful. So and you see it looks so much older. And it looks like it was under like a lot of water. And there are those, those two rivers nearby.
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to do a full episode on this place and research it more. Sorry, I was just hopping on quick to, if you don't mind, you're also live on my channel, and I will let you continue your presentation.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'll be back on in a little bit if you're still going. It's just driving and.
Oh no, it's more of like a rant, essentially. Like it was just me saying, like, look, if you're gonna come at me, telling me I'm incorrect on information that is literally from the 1500s and has 70,000 pages of logs, and you're gonna bypass that. You're not gonna look into any of it, and you're just literally gonna support what Wikipedia and the National Park Service says. Like, no, not okay. Don't come at me with that. I am not going to support that. I am not all love and light. Okay. I may look like a dumb blonde, but like, I am not all love and light. And that's not okay. And that's not going to fly. And please, like, do your research. Do your research.
Like, that's just whack. Like, you post your sources and then someone trying to claim, like, oh, that's wrong. It's like, no, this is the source. Read it yourself.
And just matching energy, like matching energy too. Like he was like he's publicly, like, if this was, okay, so let me say, like, if this was real life, or maybe like where he goes in front of like in a stadium of people or an arena of people. And I just did a big presentation with Walter Bosley, and he gets on stage and is like, Julia is incorrect in front of the whole crowd, and is like making this big thing. And it's like, what? Like the things that would happen because of doing that, but like how ignorant it is and ballsy. It's ballsy, and but to demand that, and then for it to be turned upon that person, and be like, okay, actually, no, you're wrong. Now you need to publicly say you are incorrect because look, I've got all these these logs from all these captains that say, all these accounts that says otherwise. And it's like, no, I refuse. And how that would transpire in ancient times. But like to publicly do that and demand that and then refuse to do what you were demanding me to do? So I just wanted to cover that a little bit. And I wanted to set the tone of like, look, you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying, right? You don't have to. I mean, you should, but you don't have to. No, but for real, you really don't. And, but to challenge something that I deeply researched and then refuse to do that research, it's like, okay, you could still, maybe you're not supposed to know about that. This is like, and that's another thing is some of the most valuable information to humanity is highly guarded. It is not for everyone. Like alchemical formulas, treasure maps. So, it's like, literally, it's like some of these things of like citing sources. There are some things that intuitively come or that happen that are so magical, but you can't prove. And so it's like, it's almost like finding a treasure and them saying, well, where's the sources on that? You know what I mean? Or like, oh, I made this amazing formula and it's this ancient alchemical formula. And then being like, well, oh, you made it. It is amazing, but I can't find anywhere that cites that they used it then, or that this is the exact formula. So I'm going to disregard all of it. Like, no.
Lots of like the biggest truths and like scientific breakthroughs are just they're fought against. People refuse to accept the reality, and it's because it's a change and it's a shift in their own paradigm. And it's not your fault that reality doesn't necessarily sit with what they want to believe.
Right. And another thing I'm going to bring up is I recently did a show with Dennis Glamby. He did an amazing presentation on Karahan Tepe. Oh, but everybody's like, there's been a lot of people to be like, listen, Julia, don't let this person steal your energy. They're not. Like, I'm saying this aggressively and passionately. You're mistaking. I'm literally I'm sticking up for myself. I'm literally I'm defending my position. I'm matching my beliefs. Like, and I'm being passionate. And when I'm passionate and firm, doesn't mean I'm mad. Like, did it make me happy and joyful? No, but I know how to transmute energy and redirect it. And it's like, it's taking that, it's fuel. It's fuel of like me being like, no. And you know what? Get used to it too, because I go on rants and I'm passionate and it's going to sound like I'm pissed off, but there's a fire that I have within me. So don't think, you know what I mean? Like, so when people are like, whoa, dude, calm down. Like forget about it. And it's like, what? No, like you're totally misreading this in a whole nother
right?
energy.
You used it to energize you into making a whole video, and that it's your creative, right? Like you did something good with it.
Right. Exactly. So, but back to the Dennis Glamby thing is Dennis. Oh, are you all right? Oh,
no, that
was Amber.
Okay. Hey, girl. Hi. Happy total solar eclipse.
Right? Slept through that one today.
Aw, I know. Hi, you're amazing.
We're in Canada. We couldn't see it anyways.
But onto the Dennis Glamby thing. So he did this amazing presentation on Karahan Tepe. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And he spoke about this site. I thought it was brilliant. And he's never been to this site. And I had gotten there was a few comments about it, and it seemed like they were like, look, there was some inaccuracies, or like clearly you guys haven't been there, which was interesting because it was like, dude, if you watch the full show, I'm constantly bringing up that I want to raise funds to get him to go to the site, to go to Karahan Tepe. So they clearly didn't watch the whole thing. But, it's like, well, there's inaccuracy. Okay. Well, was he wrong? But that still doesn't change the fact of what he felt the site was used for. And I wanted to make this disclaimer and proclaim, I want people to understand I'm somebody who has done amazing things from my living room without seeing an ancient relic, without going to an ancient site, and had profound information on those items and proved it. So I'm somebody that feels like you don't have to go to some of these sites to get the knowledge on the sites. So,
well, you don't have to go there physically, right? It's you're still traveling there, and putting your energy into it and researching it through it, but you don't have to physically be there to get it.
But that there's going to be people, especially these next few years, like there's going to be people that are destitute, like in a closet in India, like with barely any internet connection, that are going to have profound insights and discoveries and knowledge. There's people that are going to have pieces to puzzles and amazing thesis and amazing supportive information of things, we never thought of, that they never been to the site. They're going to have information. It doesn't matter if they've gone there. Like I'm not saying Dennis is completely right. I thought it was brilliant. I love that idea. But the fact that he came up with it,
saw or what he researched and found, right? It's what he was able to find of it, and he puts it forward. It's awesome work.
Right. So that's the thing, is I'm open. I'm somebody that's like, I'm open. So of course, so it's not like I'm doing bad research by allowing somebody to do a presentation because they haven't, like, I'm not going to hear them out because they haven't been to the site. Not only that, but it was brilliant, whether you've gone to the site or haven't gone to the site. His 3D presentation of indicating that, of how he showed what he felt from his heart, what it was used for. I haven't heard anybody make those kinds of, discoveries, or like those, because creatively, of being able to, we're going to have to use our imagination sometimes of like, well, was it this? Was it that? Because we don't know. I mean, how many people you go around, you ask thousands of people what the pyramids were used for, like how many of them would be right?
Right. Well, you're going to get 1,000 different answers pretty much, or 500 at least. And for anyone that's like doubting what Julia just said regarding like accessing information remotely and being verified and vindicated by that information, well, if you've never heard of Edgar Cayce, he is the prime example, the sleeping prophet, of how retrieving the information from the ether, from the environment, from the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. But he has proven, like, time and time again, and his prophecies are still coming true, of stuff that he was able to pull out with his mind.
Even just inventors, like, that's why I really vibed with going on your show, on the Real Science Show, was talking to these guys that are building these inventions, building these coils, and I find it fascinating how they get their insights, like through dreams or visions. And that's what's also so interesting, and that I loved about Verbelli's information, was John Searle. It came to him in a dream, and then hearing about the dream and how he decoded that, which also supports what I'm also saying. There'll be sometimes major clues that are huge disclosures, but it's how you decode that information. A lot of the times the information is there. It's like pattern recognition, or like seeing past certain things, so to see past all the clues sometimes and just be like, no, I'm going to stick to Wikipedia and the National Park Service. Like, what?
Okay, whatever the White House says, that's what the truth is. Okay.
Right. Like, you guys, I'm sorry. I need to listen to my medical professional all the time, because they know what's best. And so it's it is a dangerous area. But yeah, just the things that monks have done by meditating, using their mind, and just I'm all for people unlocking that within them, like that you have powers you can't even believe. And that's the problem is you don't want to believe you have it and you block yourself from utilizing it or working towards it, or you don't get instant gratification, so you just stop.
Exactly, right? The power of projection and the law of attraction. If you do not believe, or if you don't know, if you refuse to know and accept the truth that you have the powers within you, then of course they're never going to manifest, because in your reality you have accepted that they don't exist. Thus, you're blocking them and preventing it from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And wait, your viewers didn't see this part, so I'll do like an overview a little bit of what I found interesting is in that note. I didn't hear anybody talking about this, so that's why I felt compelled to just bring this up, especially with like the kind of crowd we vibe with. Like, I feel like we all are like into ancient sites and uncovering like things deep within the earth and trying to figure out things about them. And so where the path of totality is, like where the two paths of the eclipses cross, is like almost 9,000 square miles. So from the 2017 and then today's 2024 like eclipse. So X marks the spot. So which is in Cedar Lake in Jackson County, Illinois, and the closest town is Makanda, which has got like 500 people. And what I found significant is what surrounds Makanda. So here's Makanda right here. And then let me zoom out a little bit. And then if you see, you got Giant City State Park right here. And then you have Shawnee National Forest right here. And so, and what's interesting too, in the early 20th century, this town Makanda used the slogan Star of Egypt. So I was like, what? But so I found this to be really significant. So I wanted to look more into Giant City State Park and Shawnee National Forest, which is Illinois' only national forest. So in Shawnee is Garden of the Gods, which is, of course, different than Colorado Garden of the Gods.
Right? Like two different Garden of the Gods now.
Yeah, I really do want to go there, though.
Right? Me too. And so this other Makanda in this other national forest park, Illinois' only national park, is this other city of the gods, or Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, Garden of the Gods is in Shawnee National Forest. And then in over in Giant City Park, look at this. See this wall?
Right, like anywhere in Europe, that would be recognized as ancient megalithic, like carving tunnels worked on, you name it, right? But it's in America, so no, that's natural.
Right? And it goes against, like, I guess, when they said Columbus discovered this place, like it goes against the narrative, right?
And anyone in that's been following our research or in this community, it's like pretty much a given that if it's called a national park or Badlands, that there's probably something pre-cataclysm hidden in it.
Absolutely. So that's why I was like, listen, I want to see what you guys come up with. But this right here was really interesting. This is Garden of the Gods.
I'll be back shortly. I'm just driving.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give a recap to Bernie's viewers. Garden of the Gods. And then this is Observation Point Trail. And it looks out over these sculpted rocks. That kind of reminds me of like things you see in Sedona right there. But it looks older, or just maybe because of more water damage. There is a couple rivers. If you like backcountry hiking and camping. Look into the 160-mile river-to-river trail. And so there was this ancient Indian rock, like, on the trail. They said it's been dismantled and that these are the remnants of it. And this person that did the trail hike said, along this hike, I came across the crumbled remains of an ancient stone wall built by prehistoric Indians about 1,500 years ago. The wall was almost 150 feet long and was strategically located to block the only accessible route to the top of the bluff where the Indian tribe lived. If it wasn't for the interpretive sign, I would have thought this was just another random pile of Mother Nature stones. And then this place, other things to do near Garden of the Gods. So this Cave-in Rock State Park, it's a huge 55-foot wide limestone cave that was formed thousands of years ago. This landmark on the Ohio River became Illinois' first state park. Look at this. And then I guess, yeah, Jesse James went there. Look at that guy. Look at the size of that. And then this is looking at the Ohio River from inside the Cave-in Rock. Yeah, they filmed How the West Was Won, Davy Crockett, and the River Pirates. But, so that is that. And I just wanted, this iron furnace. It's a restored example of the iron furnace. So, here it is on a map one more time. Here's Makanda. There's Giant City State Park. And then Shawnee is over here. All right. I was on a strong one. I was coming in hot today. You guys, it's a total solar eclipse in Aries. All right. And it's also like in alignment with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. So I think some of my wounds are, I think I'm healing some of my wounds by being like, no, you know what? I'm not going to just always people please and just, or not. It's not that I people please of like avoiding confrontation or like speaking up for myself. That's going to ruffle some feathers or whatever. Like, no, like not to, say how you feel. And that it ignited like passion inside me. But I hope I hope I reached somebody with something tonight with my passion. And thank you for being here. And yeah, you guys have a good night. I will see you next time.
Watch the sun come up, beautiful, till it all burns out. We're like falling stars, miracles, dancing on the ground. And we're right with you to feel it strike deep dive. We're right with you, yeah. And we're right with you to feel it strike deep dive. Suffering grows, yeah. Let's say that life is beautiful.